how to buy a used car, what to look for. Now this is going to be a series of clips that I'm going to upload to YouTube so you can check it out. Because of the amount of time that's going to take me to cover all this stuff, I'm going to have to do it in small little clips. Alright? Now, when you go to first purchase a used car, there's a couple things you have to really watch out for. Especially if the car is over 10 years old. Alright? Then we're talking about the rubber disintegrating, no matter where it is on the car. Rubber hoses, body mounts, motor mounts, any kind of little bushings, anything. Okay? So you have to be very careful. Unless you are aware of that at the time you buy the car, and then you can use that information to lower the price of the car to get a better deal. Usually. Alright? Now, the first thing we're going to do is when we look at this car as a demo. This is a Porsche 911. The first thing we want to do is look at our tires. Alright? Now, I can look on this tire and I can see somebody sprayed this tire or painted it with some kind of tire black paint. Now that's a tip off right there. They're trying to cover something up. Now, let's check this out. Let's just feel this rubber. Oh man, the rubber is real hard. I mean, this stuff is real hard. Normally when you touch rubber on the top of a tire, you get like a soft, spongy feel. Okay? Now this one is like a worn out piece of leather. So that tells you something right there. Something is up. Alright? Tire should normally, rubber should usually, is not that hard. So the first thing you want to do is crank your tires over to one side or the other and look in the back in between the tread. Now, I'm looking in between this tread and what I'm saying is all dry rotted out. Alright? That means these tires are pretty much shot. And what else you want to check is the valve. Now, if you can bend the valve a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and you see that it's all split up, and she's starting to break down, then you know you need a valve too. But at this point, you already know this tire is probably more than 10 years old, and it's shot and over the hill. Now, one more thing you want to check while you're at it, you want to make sure and you check the distance between the tire and the front of the fender. Alright? It should be the same on both sides of the car. Now, if you can get, I can't even get one finger in here, and right away, that should tell you something. It should tell you your bushings are shot, because it should never be that close. Not in the back. Well, we got a whole fist in the back. Usually a tire is mounted in the center of the opening. Okay? That's very important. So right there, we know that the front tire is shot, the bushings are shot. I mean, they're shot big time. Alright? You got to replace them all. Lower control arm bushings. And also, you want to check when you put the tire all the way to one side. Go in there and grab that rubber brake line and try to move a little bit. If it's stiff, if it's hard, it has to be replaced. Usually after 10 years, they all have to be replaced. Not to mention that you have to drain all the brake fluid out too. You might as well. Every 15,000 miles, the brake fluid on these cars has to be changed. Now on the other side, it's the same deal. Except that tire is back about maybe 3 inches or 2.5 inches from the front inner wheel well. Okay? Now right there, you know something is really went south on this car. Alright? So, to take off those lower control arms, replace all the bushings, it's not a horrendous job, but it's time consuming. Now, also what you want to do too, there's one more thing you can check, is you can open up the car door. Alright? Put it in neutral, take off the emergency brake, and try to push the car back. Now, if you're having a hard time pushing this car back with this thing in neutral, then something's up. Well, some of those brakes are dragging. It's either your emergency brake or your foot brake or your calipers are stuck. Now, chances are it's your calipers. All right? That means they're going to have to be completely rebuilt. Now, another way to do it, of course, is to jack up one wheel on the car. Just get it about an inch off the ground and see if you can spin the tire. And the tire doesn't want to spin. You know she's dragging and the caliper hasn't released. Alright? So people, that's it. This is Vince from AutoRestorationVideos.com telling you watch yourself. Stay tuned for my next little clip on how to check out a car before you spend your hard-earned money. And you'll learn. Alright? See you soon.